2,200 days in van life. But why, you ask? Well, to tell you that, I have to tell you something else first. And it's the scary, dirty little secret of van life. But before I can tell you that, there's a couple of things I need to tell you first. And this is where it's gonna get sticky. If you're like me, you're spirit. So how I define spirit is, it's spirit, it's your intuition, and it's your consciousness. The first box you experience is your body, and your body has gender. Keep in mind, you're also in a family. That family has traditions and culture. The next box is religion. After religion, you're in a country. You've got laws and politics. It's important to also understand that when we have an experience, we get an emotion. But that emotion is only a perception of the experience. Example, I taste peanut butter for the first time. I go, wow, this is great. Someone else gets peanut butter for the first time, and they go, no, I don't like this stuff. Who's right? Who's wrong? We both are. So perception is good. Emotions, good. Experience, good. They help us understand where we are and what's going on. The dark side is, if this perception gets reinforced, then it starts to become a belief. And if it's a belief that's strong enough, uncontested, becomes our truth. And then that starts to set up our personality. And that personality is what we become. It becomes our mindset, and it's how we think. We're not thinking as a present person. We're filtering everything based on our past, and now we have a personal reality called personality. And it's very tough to change because of those emotions. Because emotions are chemical in nature. And because they're chemical in nature, they're addictive. Having a personality ain't a bad thing. It ain't a good thing. It just is. But if you're stuck in a box, in boxes and boxes, how do you get out? Why do you want to get out? What would be the point? You love these boxes. Or do you? And every single box has a lock. But why do you want to open the door? There's only one reason to open the door. It's because you have a dream, a goal, or an ideal, and every single one of them is outside the box, or you'd have it already. So you're inspired. Inspiration makes you want to reach for a dream, a goal, or an ideal. But there's that damn door, and it's locked. And the only way to open the lock is with a key, and that key is will. You see, all your boxes are boxes within boxes. And the doors, when they open and close, start to form a maze. And this is all part of the grind. And the grind has a lot of components besides those boxes. The grind has time. Time with relationships, free time for yourself, time for all your friends, time to make money, debt, dealing with credit cards, loan payments, house payments. All these things are the grind. And the grind tells you one other thing. If you keep at it until you're 65, you'll get to stop the grind, assuming you've saved enough money. But the tricky part there is, most people only live to 78 to 82. So you've got, what, 13, 14, 15 years left, assuming you're healthy, to follow your dreams, goals, and ideals. I don't think that's a good trade, do you? Now, the grind's not all bad, because the grind does teach consistency. It does help you understand how to be organized to a point, and routine. So there is a stability within the grind, but it's entirely at the cost of freedom, of creativity. It's entirely defunct of free will. It's drudgery, totally drudgery. I realized I needed to get out of the maze. I realized I needed to simplify things, clarify things, and get re-inspired with my life. So I looked at van life as an alternative, and I was intrigued. The more I looked, the more I thought. The more I thought, the more ideas started to pop into my head. And pretty soon, I had a van. So here we are, 2,200 days later. I've enjoyed minimalism and clarity. I now have a van and a plan. So I learned to simplify. I learned to get clarity. And in that clarification, I released the past in a lot of places. I changed the boxes. I opened them open. I opened them up. I kicked them open. Yeah, the boxes needed to go because they were constraining my entire spirit. And I didn't know it because of the grind. So what's the dirty, scary secret of van life? That dirty, scary secret is simple. You let go of the past. You release yourself. Set yourself free. Find your inner spirit. That's the key. You came here for a reason, and it wasn't for the boxes. You adopted them. You thought you were doing the right thing. But now you realize they're not helping you, they're helping themselves. And that's not living. Wow, this awesome field. So, what happens when you begin this process? Do you trip? Yeah, you'll trip. You'll fall down, but you'll also get back up. You'll get skinned a little, but you'll heal, tougher and more aware. You'll lose friends, absolutely, but you'll gain new friends. And you may not need even as many, because you'll have a different kind of clarity, a new kind of truth will start happening in you. You'll be inspired in different ways, and you'll begin to see more stars at night. You'll start to pay attention to the rain and the wind. And sometimes, just sometimes, you'll have a little song inside you that wants to sit by a fire and be sung. Can you do this in a van or out of a van? Do you need a van? No, you don't need a van. You can do this anywhere. But if you don't know how to get out of the boxes, it's trouble. The key is choice. The key is a dream. The key is will. And to do all of those things, you need to be clear. You need to listen to the inside of you, that spirit that you were born as. That's the magic. But once you're there, all that dirty, scary stuff's long gone. But there's a different kind of energy within you. There's an excitement. There's fun. There's discovery. And there's more. So, I'll leave you now. I hope this makes sense. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome journey. And hopefully you'll have a song to sing around the fire someday. Cheers.